program and not necessarily those of Love 101 FM.
Hello and welcome to the Morning Watch on Love 101 FM. I'm your host, Toussaint. A special welcome to our listeners on love101.org, and if you're overseas and on the move, U.S. listeners can access us at 712-832-8001. And if you're in the UK, 0330-332-6541. Or join us via the Love 101 FM app that can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can also join us on Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube Live. In the first watch today, Biden exits, Harris endorsed. What of these decisions? And in the second watch, concerns about price gouging after Hurricane Beryl. For our social media question, we ask, if you could vote for the next U.S. president, who would you pick? We're asking you to share your responses on our Love 101 FM Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also on WhatsApp 876-997-3125 using the hashtag The Morning Watch. We'll share your responses later on in the program, but before all of that, here's I quote.
All right, good morning, good morning. So today's I quote says, the more you look, the less you see. And that's all.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Good
The explanation, though, says it is impossible to know every single detail about any matter.
Yes.
The more you look, the less you see.
So like a riddle.
Right? The more you look, the less you see.
The less you see. Enough said. The first watch will be back after this break.
Recycling partners of Jamaica. Yeah, we got to make a change, and we have to do it now, can't wait for later. We put plastic in its place, and we all cannot do that, will be safer than in the gullies and in the drains. Recycling partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place. A license, no matter how your class or status or title, got to be responsible and recycle. Yes, we have to about plastic buckle board. You have to make sure say that the right title. So look for the triangle with the one heart oh. Well, I don't matter could I yellow or blue. You have to just make sure them empty, collect them plenty, recycle in revenue. So listen up, Jamaica. I'm saying it's time to make a change. Recycling partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place, and we all cannot agree that will be safer than in the colors in every veins. Recycling partners of Jamaica. We put plastic in its place.
I am Megan Tapple, Olympic 100-meter hurdles bronze medalist. At 5'1", I've always been asked, how you manage to clear the hurdles so easily? Truth is, I've been overcoming hurdles all my life. How? Preparation. So I always prepare for every hurdle in life. And that's why I drink True Shake. With True Shake, I get 9 grams of protein and 24 essential vitamins. I may be short, but with True Shake, I am not short of anything.
Come on, True Shake and go!
I pursue opportunities.
I prepare for opportunities.
I plan for opportunities.
With Sagicor e-Invest, you can prepare, plan for, and pursue IPO opportunities. Browse IPOs, review IPO details and prospectuses. Select and apply for a featured IPO. IPO with Sagicor e-Invest. Think wealth. Visit sagicor.com.
Mama work hard, for real. She do the most to send me and my brother go school. So, the dream was always to go to university. Well, I fulfilled 2 dreams with 1 Jane Bank savings plan, you know. I further my education and I make mama proud.
Take the part, travel part, graduate like a star.
Stop wishing you could. With your Jane Bank savings, you absolutely can. Jane Bank will help you find a way.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Now, Joe Biden, the President of the United States of America, has dropped out of the presidential race 2024 while endorsing Kamala Harris. Now, Harris, if she becomes the Democrat nominee, will be the first Black woman to become such a nominee of a major political party in the US. Also of note is the fact that she is of Jamaican parentage. So, what are the issues and implications of Biden's exit and Harrison's endorsement? Well, to answer these questions, we have joining us so far Pastor Silban Carr, pastor of the Abundant Life Christian Church. He's also a social commentator. And we hope to be joined by the Reverend Everell Edwards, pastor of the Twickenham Park Open Bible Church. Good morning to you, Pastor Carr.
Good morning, Rev.
How are you, my brother?
I'm giving thanks. I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm not sick.
Yeah.
And the sun is up and God is good. So I'm giving
yeah, man. All right. Now, your opening thoughts, Pastor Carr, on the time and the timing of Biden's exit from the 2024 presidential race.
First of all, I thought that in the first place, Biden couldn't have entered the race. From last year, I thought that it could have been too old for him to run a second term.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, the timing is also awkward because it's just about 103-4 days to the election, and it doesn't give. I don't think it gives Kamala enough time to really campaign as a front runner. He was campaigning for the better part of 6-7 months as a vice president.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a little short, but it's an uphill battle, you know, because they had run two polls when they were comparing Biden and Trump. It was Biden was trading by 3-4 points. When they did it with her, she was still trading by 2 points or so. So it's an uphill battle. However, there may be a change in the dynamic in that she being the front runner, she may be able to garner younger votes, more women votes, and more Black votes. It could happen. It depends on what she presents. It depends on what she promises in if he becomes president. So it's still an interesting and close race, I perceive.
There are those who wonder if the fact that Biden chose to exit the race after the Republican convention, if that is not also a strategy, and if it was not a strategy, perhaps it has amounted to that.
It could be, because had they known before the convention, the tone of the convention attacking Kamala. No, they actually strategize. Although politicians are equipped for that, you know. I don't think it will be a problem for them to re-strategize, because Kamala was always on the ticket. So they would have been poking punches at her even on the ticket before.
Not as much as Biden.
She put her as the major runner, and then whoever she chooses as her running mate, they'll have to also attack. I don't think I believe it's a strategy, because I think that the Democrats, I think they are good strategies. Sometimes they're not good messengers. Sometimes I believe they have the I think the Republican message better. They are better messengers.
Okay.
Yes, I think that's a
As you,
potential weakness of the
Democrats.
which I believe they could improve on.
Yes. As you mentioned, messaging, Pastor Carr, you get the impression that from the Republic convention that they were focusing on the age of Biden and
Yes.
his weakness.
Yes. Yes.
He was then the older person in the race.
Yes.
Now Trump is that individual. How will the Republic Party know?
You know that is a lot of irony, Rev.
Yes, it is.
Because the same stick, the same knife,
Stick.
cheap, and stick good.
Yes.
Same argument that they presented for Biden
Yes.
cannot be used by the Democrats against the Republicans.
Yes. Yes.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's really interesting at the same time, ironic.
Yes.
Now, what are your views, Pastor Carr, to read the fact that Biden, though exiting the 2024 presidential race, has decided to serve out the rest of his time as president of the United States?
I think that is expected because although it may be strenuous for him to campaign as an 81-year-old, it may not be so strenuous to perform his duties as a president because he can monitor and tailor those according to what he wants to achieve between now and January 20th.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense, and it doesn't put the party in too much turmoil because had he exited as president as well, Kamala would have to be acting as president also as nominee. That would be too much on her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good strategy by Biden.
Oh, you think it's a good strategy? Because the Republicans are saying that he is not fit enough to run as candidate for the 2024 presidential race. He is not fit enough to be president.
No, I don't share that because they are focusing on the 4 years ahead. The 4 years ahead. You're talking about 82, 83, 84, 85. That's a lot for a senior citizen. But to finish his term, which is another 6 months, he can manage. He can limp along and manage.
Limp along.
No, but based on what we see in public so from Biden was barely going along. You know, he's coming off the plane. You can see that age is taking hold. The last 2 years, he has accelerated downhill very fast.
But it's how many months we're talking about there now? 5, 6 months.
6 months. About 6 months.
That's a long time. A lot can happen within that time, internationally and locally.
That he's willing to take that risk.
Yes.
I think, and as a president, he doesn't have to be in the public sphere. He can choose how often he comes in public. Because remember, during that time,
he certainly did in the past.
Yes. And it may increase now. Now that it is public knowledge that he's not physically strong or as strong as he'd want people to believe he is.
And perhaps cognate in terms of his mind.
Yes, it would seem that he has lost some cognitive skills there. It seems so.
Yes.
Obvious.
Right. So
it is sad, because I think that he did a good first term. He did as best good as he could have done. He made some major bills came out, like the infrastructure one. That was a major one. And I feel a little sad to see a leader decline so rapidly before the public eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So you seem to be okay with it, Pastor Carr. No problem with him.
I don't see much disadvantages with it.
Yeah.
Because remember, he has aides and he has support in the White House. People can speak for him.
Yeah. Okay.
And they can attend conference for him too.
Okay. We're up on a break. We'll be right back.
Hurricane Beryl has left many across the island of Jamaica urgently needing assistance. We here at the family station Love 101 are partnering with the Jamaica Theological Seminary to help persons in St. Elizabeth who are affected by the impact of Hurricane Beryl. You can help by donating non-perishable items, bottled water, clothing, hygiene products, over-the-counter medicine, and more by Wednesday, July 24. Please drop off your contributions at our office, 81 Hagley Park Road, Kingston 10, or at the Jamaica Theological Seminary at 14 to 16 West Avenue. For cash donations, call us at 876-968-9596 or 876-968-9597. Thank you for your consideration. We are stronger together.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. And in this, the first watch, we have been looking on the exit of Biden from the 2024 presidential race in the USA and the endorsement of Mrs. Harris, the vice president. And in so doing, we have online Pastor Silban Carr, pastor of the Abundant Life Christian Church. Welcome again to you, Pastor Carr.
Thank you, Rev.
Great. So we're having a discussion on what's going on in the US now in terms of the political situation. Should President Biden have endorsed Vice President Harris so quickly instead of waiting on the upcoming convention as Obama did with him?
I think it's a little different this time than before, because bearing in mind that President Biden was a front runner, and he has chosen to not to contest the next election. Then, if he didn't endorse Kamala Harris, it could cause a loss of momentum for the party, because then they would have to wait until the convention, which is like 3 weeks' time, before they select a nominee.
Mm-hmm.
So by him endorsing her, it would send a signal to any other person who wish to challenge her, not to challenge, for the unity of the party.
Is that fair?
Yes, I think if it's fair.
Yes, because that's why Obama did not endorse Biden until after the convention was in full swing.
But I think, remember, Obama wasn't running, Obama had resigned. I mean, he had stepped out of the presidency.
Same thing.
But I think, but I think that look a different, Rev. Biden had stepped out because of health reasons. And if he was to wait on the rest of the democratic process, the party would lose, I believe, valuable time and momentum and maybe funding. The fact that he endorses her so quickly, he's saying to the donors, it's okay to go on with her. I am not running again. And to the delegates, you can support her. It may seem unfair for those who may want to aspire for presidential glory.
Interestingly, Obama has not publicly endorsed her, no, although it is felt that he would quickly endorse her, but he's also waiting on the process.
But I think he doesn't want to seem to meddle into the party's operation while Biden is the president. So I think he has the liberty to do that without fear of criticism or anything. He would say that I'm doing it in the interest of the party. So it's a kind of utilitarian perspective.
Yes, it is. And is it fair? Coming back to that question.
That is another argument. That it's debatable. It may not be fair to those who wanted to have a chance to vie for and the nominee status. Mm-hmm. But argument, my previous argument of the utilitarian perspective, I think would supersede that just for now. It
Okay.
could be a continuous process in the party.
Okay. Well,
But I think under the circumstances, the expediency would be allowed, I would say.
okay. I guess they're going to argue that the end justifies the means, because in less than 24 hours,
yes,
she received reportedly at least 81 million in
yes.
donation. And also it seems as if she has already secured the majority of some votes, delegates in convention with the preliminaries.
Another thing to Rev, remember that the Democrats, I think the support was weak, and there was a lot of uncertainty. No matter Kamala has been presented as a front runner. There's new energy, new vigor, new interest. I believe it's a plus for the party.
A plus for the party.
I think so.
Yes. Okay. What of Mrs. Harrison's chances in the upcoming election against Trump?
That's another story. Her chances right now, she's the underdog. She's trailing now. But 3 months in politics can be a long time. It depends on what events take place between now and then, plus funding, advertising, strategy, messaging, all of these mix will be important. Because remember, the presidency is basically won in the battleground. About 6 or 7 states determine the presidency. The other 43 are settled one way or the other. Either strong Republican or strong Democrat. So it's a matter of campaigning in those 7 states will determine the presidency. Based on how I see the American setup is.
Can she win against Trump?
Long shot, yes. It's difficult. It's going to be difficult, but yes, she can.
Okay.
Because when Trump came into the scene, 2016, the question was the same question. Can Trump win against Hillary, who was vastly more popular than him? He was an unknown, basically in political circles.
Okay.
But he won.
Interesting.
Yes.
I gather we're being joined now by the Reverend Everald Edwards, pastor of the Twickenham Park Open Bible Church. Welcome, Reverend Edwards.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Thank you. My apologies. I don't know what got me times so badly crossed.
Okay. Where are you, in Jamaica?
Huh?
You in Jamaica?
Yes, you know.
Good to have you, Pastor. Your thoughts on what's going on with the exit of Biden from the presidential race 2024 and the endorsement of Mrs. Harris?
I had some reservations about the democracy argument when I heard him saying, in light of the backlash that he was facing from his own party, that I'm in the race, I'm going to run. But at the same time, he was accusing Trump of being a threat to democracy. Thankfully, Sunday morning, he recognized that democracy was about the will of the majority. So he threw in the towel, and now we have this new situation unfolding where Kamala is the candidate. And from the early indications, there is some kind of favorable disposition towards her if fundraising is anything to go by. And I read a poll late Sunday evening that said she was closing the gap in the minds of people between the Democrats and the Republicans. I mean, the Republicans, Trump was still leading, but not by the majority he was. Biden was the candidate. So that's interesting. And I think I heard Mr. Clark saying that 3 months is a long time in politics. So
We'll see what we will see.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, still with you, Reverend Edwards. What roles will her gender and color play in this presidential race, do you think?
Well, if I don't know if people were swinging to Trump because of policies or what, but if he had made such inroads in the black vote under Biden as his opponent, then you would expect the youth vote, which was a significant disinterested factor, to swing towards the younger candidate, being Harris.
Okay, so you put it in age in the mix as well.
Yeah, it seems to me from the readings that age is some consideration. If you have 70% and more of the people disapproving of both candidates because of their age, meaning Trump and Biden, you would think
that a 59-year-old will grab their imagination.
It would seem so.
Okay.
And at least for a particular strata of the electorate, Harris being quite the more articulate than the two older contestants. Some other people might be engaged.
What about she being she, the female aspect of it, gender?
Well, you know,
is America ready for that? A female president?
I tell you that they might not be ready, but her pro-abortion stance might appeal to the younger people who were aggrieved by the white people of Roe Wade legislation.
Yes.
No, that's another matter. We're just observing what may be appealing to the electorate about her being woman, her being black, her being younger.
Pastor Carr, your take on that?
I think that the three factors can weigh in a way that will benefit her. One, I don't agree with the position. The abortion, she's very pro-abortion. And, you know, there's a large number of, especially young persons in America, who is, she's anti-abortion. She's pro-abortion.
She's pro.
Yeah, she's pro. So a lot of persons would love that. Secondly, the fact that she's younger definitely would mean more people would vote for her. Because as Reverend Everett said, 70% of the populace were the satisfied vote candidate. That means out of that 72%, she can garner some of those. She'll be a younger person. And then the black vote, which can be, she should be, being a black person, being a minority. And then remember, that Jamaican too, that we Talawa, we little, but we Talawa. She will bring a new dynamic to the campaign scene. Kind of so fiery and we're strong.
Yeah.
That aspect, I think, she can garner the gap that is there now. She can close that gap with those three factors coming into play. And another one, the female.
Isn't it possible it might backfire though? All of those three demographics that you mentioned, both of you.
It's possible, but based on how I analyze their political scene, I don't think it would. I think she's likely to gain rather than lose in those dynamics.
Are young people generally across the world known to be interested, intrigued in voting when the time comes?
Not really, but it depends on your campaigning. Remember, the Democrats go door to door, That's part of their strategy to have one in 18, 20, and 22.
And also the fundamentalists over there, the right in terms of the churches and their stance against abortion, against homosexual practices and transgender philosophy. What about those things?
It could backfire, yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. All right, gentlemen. Sorry, Ted, we're all right, but thank you for joining us. And have a safe day.
Okay, thanks.
The time by Jam Bank is
7:30.
Smart TV with sound bars that they get them away. Samsung Galaxy smartphone a day. S24, S24 day. Plus chicken price when I get money for splash. And I eat in a big money cash.
Get trivia prices of data and credit. Switch to Flow or activate any unlimited prepaid plan. Or pay a yard and road bill on time and in full for chances to win. Conditions apply.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
Gear up the schoolers! July 15th to September 14th, Bashka's amazing back-to-school deals just for you! Buy a case of books and receive a box of pencils and pens! Don't miss special discounts on computer tables and chairs starting August 1st! That's not all! 2 lucky winners will receive a Samsung tablet or a $30,000 back-to-school shopping spree! Follow us on all socials at Bashka Jamaica for more information. Visit Bashka today and gear up the schoolers! Bashka, the store that gives you more.
To my little bird on her graduation day, my pride is swelling thinking about the future that lies ahead for you. Go see the world. Follow that passion for music you have. Find someone as amazing as your daddy. And never forget, my love for you has no end. Love always, Mommy. 5 years ago, I promised her I'd read this to you today.
Thanks, Daddy.
Your love lives on with life insurance from Sagicor. Talk to an advisor today.
Follow Grey Sardine, a flavor. Grey Sardine with the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarket, everybody sell it. You all of them nice. Pass the park, make we shell it.
Pick up Grey Sardines with peppers, vegetable oil, water and olive oil with peppers.
Cook it up, we breakfast, lunch or dinner. Shake it out, spice it up, make it simmer. Grey Sardine, yeah, the better flavor. Quick and easy as you print it, ready.
Grey Sardines, follow the better flavor.
Have to be a man, got to be a man. I am a man.
Next episode of The Mailbox, we will take a deep dive in the world of technology as we focus on the topic men and technology. We will talk about men and their interaction with the virtual space. The increased use of technology can help but also harm persons. What are some of the things that can be done to protect ourselves from acts of scamming and other forms of criminal activities? Is AI technology really safe for the church? And what can we do to ensure safety while interacting in cyberspace? You are invited to join the conversation with Dr. Sheldon Campbell, AI author and enthusiast, on Wednesday, July 24 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101. The Mailbox is brought to you by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Foxwich Company Limited. The Mailbox, Monday.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now look at the newspapers to see what Jamaicans and others are really saying and doing in the Gleaner. Everybody farm mash up. St. Bess residents believe burial was a triple whammy. Also, we see in the Gleaner, most airlines recovering from tech outage. Delta still struggling. In the Observer, major crimes down 32% in St. Elizabeth. And also we see in the Observer, man disarms, then shoots cop dead before turning gun on himself. Condolences to the families of these men. Those are some of the major stories in our in the newspapers. Well, coming up next, we'll read some of the feedback from our social media question. If you could vote for the next US president, who would you pick? We're asking you to leave a comment on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, Love 101 FM Jamaica, or WhatsApp 876-997-3125. We'll be right back.
Hurricane Beryl has left many across the island of Jamaica urgently needing assistance. We here at the family station Love 101 are partnering with the Jamaica Theological Seminary to help persons in St. Elizabeth who are affected by the impact of Hurricane Beryl. You can help by donating non-perishable items, bottled water, clothing, hygiene products, over-the-counter medicine, and more by Wednesday, July 24. Please drop off your contributions at our office, 81 Hagley Park Road, Kingston 10, or at the Jamaica Theological Seminary at 14 to 16 West Avenue. For cash donations, call us at 876-968-9596 or 876-968-9597. Thank you for your consideration. We are stronger together.
Sonship. It is quite simply the way God prefers to do business. If we mean business with God, we need to learn what it means to be a son to a father in the body of Christ. Are you willing to learn? What does the Bible say about sonship? Tuesday, July 23, on The Rock, join guests Michael McAnuff Jones and Bishop Carl Wisdom as they discuss the topic sonship. That's The Rock, Tuesday, July 23 at 10 a.m. right here on the family station, Love 101.
Get ready for another inspiring show this Testimony Tuesday, Inside Alive, 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., July 23. Packed with inspirational stories and island-flavored music. 1:45, we bring you the brain testing Menticize Listener Speak Edition. Stick around for prayer blasts at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. To convenience of the evidence, we hear the powerful testimony of Michelle Gibson Morgan. You can't afford to miss that. Then at 3 p.m., we go behind the pulpit for another life-transforming journey. Stick and stay with us. All this and more will come alive 1 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. July 23 with me, Sarah, and the Chirpy One on the family station Love 101.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint. Let's now join Jukal for a look at how our Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp friends answered today's question. If you could vote for the next U.S. president, who would you pick? Jokal?
All right, so I have responses here from our WhatsApp line. This person says, I would definitely vote for Kamala as president, although I don't support the abortion thing. I think there is more to her than that. Somebody says, good morning, Trump, because of his moral stance on Christian principle. Another person says, I would vote for Harris. This person says, I would vote for Kamala Harris. So yes, those are our responses so far.
What's the score?
It's leading in favor of Kamala Harris.
Okay, all right. And as somebody said, in spite of the abortion thing. Yeah, all right. I want to thank those who responded. As we now segue into the second watch, an order has been issued from the Office of the Prime Minister under the Trade Act to regulate prices and ensure fair access to necessary supplies. Its main aim is to protect consumers from exploitation. But there are still fears of price gouging, especially in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. So what is the real situation? And what can and should be done in that regard? Well, to discuss this matter, we have online Ms. Dorothy Campbell, Communication Specialist of the Consumer Affairs Commission, Mr. Lenworth Fulton, President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great. Yes, Mr. Fulton, you are live now in the interview. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, live on air. Okay. Let me begin with you, Ms. Campbell. For the record, what really is price gouging and how is it different from the normal price increases as a result of supply and demand?
Well, thank you for that question. I think we've been asked that ever since the declaration by the Honorable Minister Auburn Hill, who is the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, effective July 2. And I think the Honorable Prime Minister also gave a statement in the House. That declaration was made under the Disaster Risk Management Act. And what it aimed to deter, avoid, prevent, sanction is anyone who may take an advantage of the environmental climate and circumstances as it is now in this extreme fallout of Beryl. So price gouging occurs when a vendor deliberately marks up his price because the item is in high demand, item or service is in high demand based on the circumstances, the environmental circumstances. So it has to be proven that there was a deliberate effort to take advantage of the customer. And in that way, what we do is we examine what is out there in the market, and that is a routine operation of the CAC. We do market surveillance to ensure that the access and supply of items and services is available to the consumer. So that determination will help us decide whether or not that market price was normal, above normal, in excess, or way above normal.
Was a thin line though, Ms. Campbell, because
very thin line, very thin line.
I mean, supply and demand. If the supply is more than the demand, then you know what happens there. And if the demand is greater than the supply, you're going to have the price normally, naturally increasing. So how are you going to decide that this person's intent was so nefarious?
Well, Doc, I'm happy you said normal, because it's the abnormal increases that will give us a red flag. Because we expect increases when demand go, that's economic theory. Supply and demand determine price. So we expect price increases. However, what the government intends to deter is, for instance, what happened in the initial stage of COVID, where you saw levels of increase for alcohol simply because it was an item that was in demand to reduce the risk of exposure to the virus.
Okay.
So it occurred not because alcohol was in short supply. It occurred immediately after it was established that alcohol was supposed to help you deter the virus.
Let me bring in Mr. Fulton then. Mr. Fulton, very quickly, what is the state of the agricultural sector since Hurricane Beryl?
Well, we have significant damage to deal with, and farmers are rebuilding now. But you know that we are not going to have the regular supply of food and vegetables and food as we had before the hurricane. So we are going to see scarcity, and I think we're going to see some implication of the
So sorry, Mr. Fulton, we're up on a break. Hold that thought. We'll be right back.
Nice and teeth for the chef and the beginner. Follow the one with pepper, that are the winner. Shop on supermarkets, everybody
Great
selling.
sardines, follow the better flavor.
The time is
7:45.
Enjoy yummy for the summertime. Win big for the back to school. It's the yummy summer back to school promotion. Purchase one each of these yummy products. Yummy cheese bread, cornbread, jamboree, and 5-ounce buns. Write your name, address, and contact number on the back of your receipt and mail with the empty packages. Send in with your yummy salesman or drop off at your nearest yummy agency or entry box in participating supermarkets. Enter today and win your share of over 1.4 million in cash and prizes. Win big for the back to school. Follow us at Yummy Bakery JA for more details. Authorized under Section 50 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
It's time to bounce back from that party like never before. Say goodbye to hangover blues with new Alka-Seltzer Boost. Just 2 tablets for immediate relief and a caffeine boost. Alka-Seltzer Boost is from Dior.
Tiles, and more tiles! It's the Totally Tiles sale event at Home and Things. Enjoy up to 70% off select mosaic tiles. Check out our new arrivals of elegant Spanish porcelain and stylish ceramics at unbelievably low prices. Save big on A-grade floor and wall tiles. Trendy designs, colors, and sizes. We've got it all. Plus other discounts store-wide. Catch the Totally Tiles sale event now on at Home and Things, Old Hope Road and Constant Spring Road. Lots of tiles, lots of styles.
In life, the more you have, the more you have to lose.
The more you love, the more you worry. The more you own, the less you sleep.
The more people rely on you, the more you have on your mind.
I have peace of mind,
knowing that whatever I own
and whoever I care about are covered by the very best.
With Sagicor Life and Advantage General, get life, health, and general insurance to help you protect what matters most.
Welcome back to the Morning Watch. Thanks for staying with us. I'm your host, Dylan Toussaint, and this is the second watch. We are expressing concerns about the excessive price gouging that is seemingly taking place after Hurricane Beryl. And in so doing, we have online Mr. Lenworth Fulton, President of the Jamaica Agricultural Society, and Ms. Dorothy Campbell, Communication Specialist of the Consumer Affairs Commission. I believe before the break, Mr. Fulton, you were responding to the query about the state of the agricultural sector since Hurricane Beryl. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The manifestation that we will see now is that things are in short supply and the prices are going to be higher. So I do think the government is going to issue import license for vegetables and food. But we will get, and we have had a disaster, but not our fault, but that does not mean that our consumers do not need this stuff. So we will hope that the import license are carefully managed so as not to flood the market with cheap produce from other countries to improve the progress of our farmers. Because we have most of our vegetables knocking our market into 12 weeks' time. I was buying a vendor going into Christmas, we have everything except the banana and plantain and corn. That takes between 9 months to a year to go from soccer to the you can put a material from banana planting. So we have a year to wait for that. The rest of things we will be back in production, right? Within nice within 12 weeks.
So what about the prices, Mr. Fulton, of these items?
It's going to be difficult to control the price. And the price gouging is a price that I hope that our farmers and middlemen who mark up the price will remember that we are not using these products. It is the consumers. And this is the holiday period where children are at home. So we are just too selfishly about ourselves making a big profit. This is the time when the nation should come together and we all come together and be reasonable with what you have to say. People have to feed their families. It's not a time for us to become rich from other person's dilemma.
Yes, yes. Ms. Campbell, as far as you are aware, how widespread is price gouging in Jamaica since Hurricane Beryl? And what are the commodities that you find most of?
Well, I just want to clarify something. Under the amendment of the Trade Act, in order to protect the consumers against price gouging, for which we have had no evidence yet. And I will later speak about the process of ensuring that we investigate those. Under the Trade Act, there are some exceptions, and those exceptions are the fact that the agricultural sector has its own control act, and that includes the Sugar Industry, Agricultural Produce, Agricultural Marketing Act, the Coconut Industry Control Act, the Banana Board Act, and the Jamaica Agricultural Commodities Regulatory Authority Act. So they have their own pieces of legislation to ensure that certain control occurs in the market. So this Trade Act is those are exceptions, but it does include and it does cover as personal care items, the regular items that the Consumer Affairs Commission conducts market surveillance each month, and that includes a critical basket, additional items during the hurricane season. So it's baby products, it's food, it's personal care items, hand sanitizers, feminine hygiene products, and so on, and also medical supplies, including non-prescription medication that people would need. It's a stressful time, over-the-counter OTCs and so on. So there are several other items included, and particularly, Doc, included are building and construction material, because the Consumer Affairs Commission conducts a special survey prior to the hurricane season startup on June 1, just that Beryl came really early. and the expectation across the globe was, of course, that June we're having a major hurricane. So we usually do surveys of hardware items prior to an event, and then post an event, we do another one, which we're now cleaning that data to do a comparative analysis, and our economists and our researchers do that here to ensure that there is no evidence of price gouging or any evidence that there is excessive pricing to take advantage of those persons who may need building material in order to restore them, into some semblance of normalcy. So that is part of our usual.
Let me get it clear. So what are you picking up on the ground so far?
Well,
anecdotally.
Well, anecdotally, CAC, we don't usually speak anecdotally about prices, simply because the way we collect the prices is that the owner and vendor of the establishment has to sign off on the prices that we're picking up to ensure that what we find in the stores across the island is exactly what the consumer is receiving. So once we have verified, and that occurs for everything, grocery, building, banking fees, anything we survey. So what we're picking up now is that in many of the locations, we had to do paper survey because we usually do it digitally, it uploads directly to our database and so on. Because of the inconsistency with the electricity and so on, some of our survey officers who are also without a roof, I will add that we are not exempt. We have members who are still working, who are homeless, to speak of exactly how a home should be. And some have also have relatives who are also suffering. So what we ask them to do is to ensure that when they pick up the data on paper, that they actually get a live signature to verify that our officers did visit, and that's why we don't take anecdotal comments. We ask consumers to send us a receipt, give us the location of the supplier and the item they purchased for which they are claiming that there is some kind of price gouging, because it is a legal claim and we need to investigate with evidence. So we ask consumers, and we are using your platform now to ask consumers again, that we see the social media comments, but we want you to submit the receipts or send us a location and the item so our officers can investigate properly and pursue that on your behalf.
So far, you're not picking up anything alarming.
No, what we are seeing are comments on social media with broad brush statements saying a particular area. We need to, they say, okay, I'll give you the comment. CSE need to do something, and the whole of them people are thief because me pay too much money for so and so. That does not register for us as a complaint. You have to tell us where you see this happening, so we can check it out.
Be specific. Great.
Be specific.
Yeah. Mr. Fulton, what do you say now to the consumers out there, especially those of the agricultural products? What is going on? What's your advice to us?
Well, if something is too expensive, you try and find an alternative. There are alternatives that we can use in the short term. It won't be forever, just for about 3 months. And of course, the markets, Carnation and all the other parochial markets, offer some of the best competitive environments. You know, when you go mostly to the Carnation market, every move you move, there's a different price, so you have a choice.
Yeah,
and use that mechanism that the fresh food market present to you. So you don't have to buy lettuce for $1,000 a pound and cabbage for that. You know, you have to use alternatives. And there are a lot of alternatives that you can use. You can, if you need vegetable, you can use Spanish noodle. It's very good, just like callaloo. You have callaloo too. You have dasheen leaves, and all of these things are as good a vegetable as anything else. So use the alternative around you for the short period that will be out of the product. And as I said, I know that some importation is going to take place. So the prices won't be as significantly out of the reach of our consumers as some other products. And then we'll be able to bounce back. There is $1 billion line of credit from major poultry farmers. And up to yesterday, the 2 major chicken companies were giving away thousands of day-old, what you call day-old broiler chickens and so on.
Yes.
So we are rebuilding.
We're coming on.
We are rebuilding and we are getting back into production.
All right.
So in 6-8 weeks, we'll have enough poultry meat on the market, and we'll be fine. But you can't spend all your money on a particular product that people overprice because it is in scarce supply. An alternative, use other meats and so on.
Okay.
And just live through this bad patch. We'll get over it. This too will pass, you know.
Okay. Speaking about passing, we have to move on. We are totally out of time. I know Ms. Campbell would want to mention some suggestions and recommendations, but we're out of time. Thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for being with us. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to look at continue to discuss topical and controversial issues. For information or get copies of this program, call our production department at 876-968-959627. This has been the Morning Watch. Thanks to our producer, Kathy Gale, and our guests. I'm Dylan Toussaint. Hand you back to Love in the Morning with Jokal Daya.